Good morning, and how are you today? Today I have an awesome, fantastic, brilliant new recipe to bring to you from my awesome, fantastic, brilliant new brew room. So let's get in and make this wonderful recipe. Today we are going to be making potato and barley wine. This is a classic country wine combination. The two elements, the barley and the potato, work together really well to bring out a high starch, a high alcohol, fantastic, awesome wine that I just love to make and rejoice in drinking. The variety of the potatoes you use does not matter. You can use Prince Albert, King Edward, new potatoes, old potatoes, baking potatoes, it does not matter at all. So grab yourself your 1 kilogram of slightly old potatoes, get them sliced up and throw them into your crock pot. You want nice big chunks of potatoes, so half them or a quarter of them. If you cut them too finely, the potatoes will break down too much and release far too much starch and sediment into your wine, and it will take an age to clear and be really difficult. With your spuds in the pot, pour over 4 litres of boiling water and then let them simmer for half an hour to 40 minutes. You do not want them to boil because that will release a lot of the starch, so keep them below the boiling point. So shove on your oven and let them simmer away for half an hour, 40 minutes. Then once your spuds have been simmering away for half an hour, 40 minutes, what we want to do is extract all the potatoes from the juice into a separate saucepan, because I'm going to have those for dinner tonight as mashed potato pie topping on a homemade pie. Brilliant, fantastic. You may as well maximise the ingredients. If you can get a meal plus wine from the ingredients, why not go for it? Cheaper for you, better for you, less waste, everyone's a winner. So extract your potatoes from that hot liquid. Now, into the pot, we won't be adding the other ingredients. So I'm pouring 1 kilogram of granulated white sugar straight into the hot liquid. And also pouring 500 grams of brown sugar. And the brown sugar really brings out a nutty, divine, elegant flavour which really enhances the barley and the potato-ness of this divine wine. And the next step is to add 500 grams of barley. Now I'm using dried pearl barley simply because it's available in every supermarket along the length of Britain. Even up here, you can get it, no worries. So pearl barley is what I'm using. So shove the pearl barley into the saucepan with the sugar and the potato juice. And then we want to be adding the juice of 1 lemon. And add the chunks as well. They all help at this stage. Give that a good squeeze and shove the chunks in. And give it a quick stir to dissolve that sugar and get that liquid amongst the barley and the sugar and the lemon juice. And this is going to be a drink and a half, I can guarantee it. Now, this wine will work out to be about 16.5%. It is a great winter warmer. It's rich, it's luscious, it's great to have by the fire, great to have over the winter and those cold, dark nights. It's whiskey light, it's moody, it's peaty, it's emotional in the mouth. It's a drink that you just want more of because you just can't get enough of it. So what we need to do now is shove the saucepan back on the stove for about 15 minutes on a gentle simmer. Don't boil it, you just want to heat up that barley to help it extract the starch and the flavour from it. It's divine it is. So shove it back on a low heat for 20 minutes and then hey ho, I'll be back with you in 20 minutes after a cup of tea. Brilliant. Once your barley, sugar, lemon juice has been simmering away in that lovely hot potato water, it's time to put this divine, wonderful liquid into your big fermentation buckets. Grab yourself your clean, sanitised, sterilised fermentation bucket and just simply pour in that lovely barley mixture into your bucket. Fantastic, really simple. And get all of the grain, all the barley into the bucket. The aroma coming off the wine at the moment is divine. It's heavenly, it's sweet, it's barley, potato starch. You can tell this will be a great peaty type of whiskey in the glass. Well, whiskey flavoured wine anyway. It's going to be high alcohol, biting. It's going to be divine, perfect for those winters. Make this now, it'll be brilliant for next winter. Give it about 6 months to mature. So what we'll do now is leave this to cool and I'll be back with you for the next stage in a few moments. Back in a moment. And we're back. Your wine has cooled down to room temperature or just above, and it's the ideal temperature to pitch your yeast to the must. Now, I'm going to be using a high alcohol wine yeast by Cross My Loof. I really rate this company and I use them for the majority of my brews. This wine can go to about 16%, and I find that their high alcohol wine yeast really pushes that really well without too many off flavours from too much heat of the alcohol. It does a great job of making a high strength wine brilliant. So what you want to do now is simply pour in your sachet of yeast or your teaspoon of yeast if you're using a pot into your bucket on top of that lovely potato and barley must. So shove your lid on and seal it. And now we want to put this in a warm place for 3 to 5 days and let that initial fermentation go wild and the party in the bucket become epic. Have a rave in there, get that yeast fermenting all that sweet starch and sugar and turn into alcohol. And then I'll be back with you to finish this wine off in 3 to 5 days. So until then, you have an epic time and I'll see you really soon. Your wonderful barley and potato juice with that bit of lemon and the sugar has been stood in a warm place for 3 to 5 days, maturing and becoming epic and awesome. The yeast's been having a party in there and it's all been going mental, and that is what we're after. So what we need to do now today is to strain off all that barley from the juice and put it into our clean, sanitised, sterilised demijohn. And now this should be a relatively straightforward process if you have the right tools. I normally like to run my liquid with bits in through a lady's ankle sock, a nice nylon one, through a funnel. Now my funnel is way too big for my stocking. Talk about chubby ankles, it doesn't fit. So therefore I'm going to be improvising and using a sieve and various different methods, but you use the method that is easiest for you to get all those bits out, all that grain, all that pearl barley out of the liquid and just a pure liquid into your fantastic demijohn. Awesome. With the majority of that pearl barley out of your bucket, we want to strain the liquid into the demijohn and try to get every last bit of barley out if we can help it. If a few small pieces go in, not the end of the world. That will come out when you rack the wine off at a later date. So do your best, if not, doesn't matter. Now that is looking fantastic. It's a bit murky from the barley, but that's to be expected. It's the starch, but that will clear in due time. This wine will take a while to clear and mature, so you want to leave it for a full 6-8 months. It'll be ready for next winter, it will be. So make it now, be ready in a year's time. Fantastic. So all we need to do now is insert a clean airlock into the mouth of the demijohn and set it aside in a warm place to carry on fermenting. Once it's finished fermenting, it will start to clear. That starch, that sediment will drop, and then you can rack it off when there's a decent amount of sediment at the bottom of the demijohn. Not before, not too soon, let it do its thing. Patience is the thing that you need most when it comes to winemaking. Give the wine a chance to become wine and do its thing. Don't rush. You have a full year before it's going to be ready, so don't rush stages. And I really can't wait to come back and do a taste test of this potato and barley wine. It is going to be awesome. So whilst I wait for this wine to finish fermenting and bubbling, why don't we go and check out this video up by here, which I've especially chosen just for you. So you have a brilliant weekend now, and I'll see you really soon. Have fun.